Sea Wolves, and welcome back to the show. So we have lots to discuss. We have an actual winner in the Ultime class, but before we start with that, of course, I hope you have something delicious here in your cup so we can all share. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I'm just at the top of the mast, talking to Jack on the comms on deck, and just checking some stuff on the runners. Got some wear and tear to try and just check it's alright and see if I can protect it a bit. Looks pretty cool from up here.
What a difference 24 hours makes, huh? Yesterday, this time, we were stuck with no wind, sort of wondering whether the option that we had chosen was a good one. And today, well, we know the answer to that, because we have been smoking fast all day long and all night, crucially. And that's because Fabio and I here have been cooking up a good strategy, and I think we had one of the fastest passages through the light winds, and now have the strongest wind of our competitors, and crucially the best speed out of all of our competitors. So that's been great news. Now it's time to look at what comes next, and what comes next is we're up here at the orange boat, and then in front of us we have the Canaries. Now these fantastic Spanish holiday spots are known for, well, kite surf. I don't actually know, I've never been there, but apparently they're good places to go visit. But they're challenging places to sail through. And that's because if we have the wind coming through this way, then these really high mountains that are about 2,500 or 3,000 meters high, they create big wind shadows like this. So blue is the wind shadow, that's where you don't want to be going, but then equally you have these acceleration zones here that I've marked in red. So that means that as we go back to our navigation software and zoom in, you can see these wind shadows here, and then equally the acceleration zones here. So we're sort of quite limited as to which way we can get through the islands, because there are fast ways and there are slow ways. And as for what's coming up next, well, we're fully committed to the southern option, but that still has a couple of challenges.
So we have a first option which would be intermediate, we call it like this, that go back to the north and try to play with a new system coming in the North Atlantic west part, sorry.
In about 5 days time.
Exactly. Yep. And the other option is to play really south and go catch the strongest Alizé
trade winds.
Yep. And we can see that we go almost to the Cap Vert in 3-4 days.
Yeah. But basically, we're in good shape. The boat's in good shape. We're happy to be going fast, and still working on our developing strategy for the days to come. But what's exciting is that we've got the Canaries, and that presents lots of opportunities and some pitfalls. So we need to stay super attentive to how we make it through the islands. So thanks for following along.
There you go. Woo! A bit of splashes from before. Look here, this is Gran Canaria. Beautiful. Yoo-hoo! It's amazing. And then on the other side, let's see if we see Tenerife. Up. Oh, it's gone in the haze. There's a class 40 there with a white spinnaker. Oh, that's time to drive. The wind is just switched off. Okay, let's go.
Some really cool updates from the water there. Looks great, eh? Now that they're in the trade winds, sunny weather, perfect conditions for the boat. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than that. And to do that in a racing setting, just amazing. So before we get to the Imocas, let's make a quick dash to the all teams, because of course Banque Populaire has arrived and has clinched the win, won the race. So congratulations there, Armel Lecliche and Sébastien José. Super nice, and I think well deserved. They're just a lot faster. I mean, the boat is just so fast downwind. Interesting to see SVR Lazartique in second position, third time already actually second position. So I'm sure they're very happy with the fact that no damage, just really a perfectly run race, but I'm sure that they would have preferred to win, of course. So I know, good luck in the next race, I guess. And interesting though that Edmond de Rothschild, of course, you know, with their damage now repaired, but still, you know, lagged behind very far now, like very close actually to the other two boats, while of course for a long time they were kind of duking it out with SVR Lazartique and Max Banque Populaire for the win, and then just fell back through that damage really significantly. So too bad there. And also personally I must say that the Edmond de Rothschild Gitana is actually one of my absolute favorites, of course, also because we did the Jules Verne trophy report with them. And yeah, it's too bad to see that they're a little bit, I think also for themselves, underperforming in this race. But, well, third place is still up for grabs. So right now they're doing good speeds. They got a perfect direction. So let's hope they make it there and clinch that third place. Okay, well, let's then go to the Imocas.
Allez, ça déboule le long des Canaries, là. Petit empannage à suivre pour rejoindre la côte africaine. Super agréable. Wouhou, ça déboule les vagues.
So, as you can see here in the tracker, teamwork.net still firmly in the lead with Group Duradil right behind them. And they lead actually extended now, contrary to the other group that has gone, of course, the other route. So Charal, right now they actually have about 160 nautical mile lead. So that's not unsubstantial. That's a real good distance. On the other hand, if you kind of look at the track, right, and the fact that the weather is still very much in between them and the goal, and of course we'll go over the weather that they have to kind of go through. Well, you know, the route home is definitely shorter. There probably is a gap, we're going to get into that now, but on the other hand, the more southerner group now, of course, has basically, like you already saw it in the videos during the toast, really perfectly sunny conditions, and they're gonna be keeping that more or less for the entire road there now. And of course, because they're downwind sailing, it's really perfectly, you know, what the Imocas are ultimately designed for. So they're optimally foiling, optimally speeding, and you know, we see speeds 24, 25, sometimes higher than that, knots more or less all the time. So they're going really fast, while of course the guys doing really an upwind battle in the Atlantic now, doing speeds more like 7 knots, 12 knots, maybe 17. I see Justin Matreux right now doing 18.4. That's still very fast, but that's a big difference with, you know, 22 or 24 or 25 knots even, or sometimes maybe even more. You know, they can go sometimes up to 30 knots. So yeah, right, it's everybody's trying to keep the boat in one piece, but the race is certainly not over. So well, let's take a look at the weather. So this is right now where the head group kind of is, and this is actually right now. Now if we progress a few hours, so let's go here 12 hours ahead, 24 hours ahead, we see more or less still a clear road for them to sort of keep moving, right? Now then, as we kind of go toward Wednesday, we also still see that the road is still there for them to make some distance, but we also see that there's this pretty giant low again starting to develop here. And of course, as that keeps growing, we go towards the end of Wednesday and Thursday, then we see we got a full-on storm again. We can also see it here if we look at the waves real quick. You know, we're getting into the territory of waves that are 4, maybe 6 meters, sometimes even higher than that. So those are some pretty serious sea states, and it's still upwind, right? So they're going to get strong winds also. You know, we can see here 20, 25, 31, of course, more closer you get even stronger winds. I think the wind will be okay. It will be kind of 25, maybe 30 in the gusts, but to go against that, of course, is a pretty tough battle. Now they're going to be by then around here. And then as we move into Thursday, we can kind of see what the plan is, right? So here we see kind of in the wake of the storm, we see the path that they're going to be wanting to take. So as we go into Friday, then we see that that's basically where the opening is to then get down to Martinique, right? So if we look at it again, kind of, I'll actually draw it in here to make it a little bit more clearer. So right now they are more or less, you know, here. And then as we move sort of, so the next 24 hours or so, they're going to be kind of like, you know, moving down. Then if we go another 24 hours, we'll see them kind of continuing that trend, just, you know, making their way down further. Then we go another like 15 to 16 hours. Then we see that the storm is coming in, so they're going to be, yeah, maybe they might be actually a little bit lower, it depends a bit where they are, but they're going to try to skirt kind of the underside of that storm. The positioning for them, like when the storm actually comes by, is going to be very important. And then as we go towards kind of the tail end of the storm, so the end of Thursday, that's where they're really going to have to pounce. And then kind of, you know, they get this kind of downwind area where they can sail really fast. And then over probably Friday, they're gonna make their way down. And of course, then it's gonna be really interesting. You know, are they gonna be making it in time, or what is going to happen? But so especially the positioning, where are they going to be when this storm hits, that's really going to decide how fast they're going to go, how big the wind speeds and the wave state is going to be, and that's really ultimately going to decide the winner. So it is a window for the win, but it is a small window, and it requires a lot of precision to kind of put the boat right in an advantageous position and follow that right exact line to get there faster than the more southern sailors, because you know, basically all they got to do is, like, they're right now about here underneath the islands, and now they just got a smooth ride where they basically got good weather all the time to like, as you can see, like, it's like pretty much good for their entire track. And yeah, no problem there. It's just smooth downwind sailing, as long as they stay a little bit down to kind of avoid the other you know, upcoming of the Azura High, the Azura High again, then they're going to be just fine. So yeah, that's it kind of for the Imoca class. No major new damages or anything like that. Pip, of course, having made her repair also, so all good there. Then if we look at the Ocean 50, so they made it past Cape Verdes, and already almost halfway there. All of them doing good speeds, 22, 19 knots, so making great speed. It is visible that Solidaires and Peloton actually gave up a little bit of their lead. They were a little bit further out. I think now it's about 140-ish nautical miles, so still pretty good, but it was something like 190, so they did fall back a little bit, and I think that's mostly due to the fact that the wind is strong. It's in a good direction, but it's a little bit patchy, so sometimes they're just a little bit slower. Not really anything they can do about it. It's just kind of the wind coming on and off, but overall doing good. And yeah, if they keep the boat in a good place and in one piece, then hopefully they can clinch the win. And then of course for the class 40s, that's kind of interesting. So we see that the boats that kind of chose to go through the islands actually did go a little bit slower, and we see basically the guys that kind of you know, went kind of underneath the island. So that's both Allegrande Pirelli again and Group Senef, and we have IPSA here, and of course a little bit more north we have Credit Mutuel, and they basically all made a very nice fast run, and now are still kind of clearly in the front. Of course, I think ultimately Grand Pirelli again in the best position, because as you kind of saw in the weather when I was looking at the Imocas, so this new low is kind of going to be moving downwards a little bit, so kind of right here, and this is going to kind of block the more upper route, especially going on Wednesday to Thursday. So you see this kind of comes up, and so you kind of want to be below that. And so I would say that Grande Pirelli and IPSA are right now probably in the best position to make a slightly lower run, getting kind of a little bit better wind. But all in all, the fleet really in great shape. So yeah, great sailing, and I'm super curious to see how this is going to develop. And yeah, that's basically it for the update today. So hope you have a great Monday evening and see you in the next update. Ciao, ciao.